Good afternoon students. Welcome to the mathematics class. In this class you will learn about the chapter fractions and decimals. Today I will discuss about what do you mean by fraction and different types of fractions. The word fraction is derived from the Latin word fractus, which means broken. Thus a part of anything is called a fraction. Whenever a single object or a group of objects is divided into any number of equal parts, then one or more of these parts are a fraction or a fractions of the whole unit or object. For example, suppose I have a cake. I have a full cake. Now if I divide this whole cake into 4 equal pieces, and suppose if I take one piece from it, that means I have taken one piece out of the 4 equal pieces. So in other words also I can say that I have taken one fourth part of the whole cake. That means how much portions of the cake is left? 3 pieces are left. So we can also say that 3/4 part of the whole cake is left. So a number which represents a part of whole, the whole may be a single object or a group of objects, is called a fractions. For example, if I write 3/7, then it is a fraction. Can you tell what does the number 7 stands for? It is the number of equal parts into which the whole has been divided. And here 3 stands for the number of equal parts which have been taken out. So the fractions 3/7, in the fractions 3/7, 3 is called the numerator and 7 is called the denominator. Let us see in the fraction 3/7, here 3 is called the numerator of the fraction 3/7 and 7 is called the denominator of the fraction 3/7. Now come to types of fractions. The first is proper fractions. A fractions which is less than a whole is called a proper fractions. For example, numerator, that is when numerator is less than denominator. For example, 2/3, 3/7, 5/6, etc. Come to improper fractions. A fractions which is equals to or more than a whole is called an improper fractions. Here numerator is greater than or equals to the denominator. For example, 6/5, 5/4, etc. Now in improper fractions, the value of the fraction is always less than 1 because it is a fractions which is less than a whole part. That means the value of the fraction is always less than 1. But for improper fractions, the value of the fraction is either equals to 1 or greater than 1. Now let's see the next fraction is mixed fractions. So mixed fraction means a combinations of a whole number and a proper fraction is called a mixed fractions. For example, 2 whole of 3/5, 7 whole of 2/7. Here 2 is the whole number and 3/5 is the proper fractions. So the combinations of a whole number and a proper fraction is called a mixed fractions. Now an improper fractions can be expressed as a mixed fractions. For example, suppose if I write one improper fractions 21/5. That means if we divide 21/5, we get 4 as the quotient and remainder as 1. So here remainder is 1 and quotient is 4. So that means 21/5, this can be expressed as quotient whole, then remainder by denominator, that is 5. So the formula is that an improper fraction becomes a mixed fractions if we write the quotient whole of remainder by denominator. So which is written as 4 whole of 1 by 5. So improper fractions can be expressed as a mixed fractions by writing quotient first when we divide the numerator by denominator. So then we write quotient first, then remainder by denominator. Similarly, mixed fractions can be expressed as an improper fraction. For example, 4 whole of 1 by 5. This can be written as 4 plus 1 by 5. Then it means 4 multiplied by 5 plus 1 by 5. So it is coming 21, sorry, it is coming 20 plus 1 by 5. So it is coming 21 by 5. Now come to the next example. Next type, like fractions. Fractions having same denominator. For example, 2 by 15, 3 by 15, 7 by 15. All these fractions having the denominators are same. That type of fractions are called like fractions. And what is unlike fractions? Fractions having different denominators are called unlike fractions. For example, 3 by 5, 7 by 2, 4 by 9. All these fractions have different denominators. Come to another types of fractions, that is decimal fractions. A fractions whose denominator is any of the numbers 10, 100, 1000, etc. For example, 7 by 10, 12 by 100, 13 by 1000. These are the examples of decimal fraction. Vulgar fractions, a fractions whose denominator is a whole number other than 10, 100, 1000. These are called, for example, are called vulgar fractions. For example, 3 by 11, 5 by 12, 7 by 20, etc. Equivalent fractions, the given fractions and the fractions obtained by multiplying and dividing its numerator and denominator by the same non-zero number are called equivalent fractions. So look at this figure. In this figure, a rectangular sheet is divided into two equal parts. The shaded part represents here 1 by 2. Here there are 2 shaded parts out of 4 equal parts, so 2 by 4. There are 4 shaded parts out of 8 equal parts, so 4 by 8. And here 3 shaded parts out of 6 equal parts. So here all shaded parts are equal. So that means we can write 1 by 2 is equals to 2 by 4 is equals to 3 by 6 is equals to 4 by 8. So these are called equivalent fractions. So 2 or more fractions having the same value or representing the same part of a whole are called equivalent fractions. So any fractions can be multiplied or multiplied by its numerator and denominator by a same non-zero number. The value will remain same. So in next class we will discuss more about fractions.